internet. It is Sunday the 7th of May 2017. What I've got here to unbox is the Lumix GH5. I've also got a 12 to 35 2.8 lens and a spare battery. This camera is replacing this guy, the Sony RX10 Mark II. I've had non-stop problems with this RX10 Mark II. The audio jack has just completely broken. It used to work to the point where you have to jiggle the jack and then the audio would kind of work in one channel only, and then the one channel stopped working. Then the hot shoe fell out. I don't use it as an electronic or hot shoe anyway, so I just glued it back on. Lovely image quality, but just poor build quality, so that's why this camera is now being cast aside. Now, this guy, the GH5, there's been a lot of talk about this camera on the internet. I first heard about Panasonic through Nicholas Cole. He has been a long-term Panasonic Lumix user. Micro Four Thirds for me was always not going to cut it. I mean, for my stills photography, I'm a Canon guy and I've got the 1DX and the 5D and I've got all my glass. That's not going to change. My ideal situation would have been to upgrade to a 1DX Mark II and use that for vlogging and use it for my stills work. The downside to that would have been that's a very heavy camera and the stabilization on it is rubbish in terms of vlogging. You might think vlogging on a 1DX Mark II is overkill. Sure, it might be, but I was willing to do it in the sense that I would then have two 1DXs and I'd have my vlogging camera sorted. Over the course of say 6 or 7 months, Nicholas Cole has really talked me into this Micro Four Thirds system. Having said that, the issues with the autofocus on this, for what I need, I'm a vlogger. That's the only reason I bought this camera. I'm probably not going to even click the shutter for a still on this, maybe for time lapses. The autofocus issues are a problem, and they're a problem that, fingers crossed, Panasonic can resolve. It's not the most ideal situation, but the benefits of this body far outweigh the hassles of using this guy and struggling with audio and the limitations of the iPhone 7 Plus for vlogging. So that's why I've got the Panasonic GH5. Let's unbox this. Might be needing this. Check that out later. Something. That's that. That's what you get in the box. The camera, spare battery, 1 battery, 2 batteries. This is my first foray into Micro Four Thirds. It's pretty rad how small everything is and how light everything is. That's a 24 to 70 equivalent Canon lens, and it's like a third of the weight of the brick. That's pretty cool. All right, let's have a look. Wow, these things got to come off. Yeah, it looks cool. Comparatively speaking, from the RX10 Mark II, just a little bit bigger. It's not too heavy. Well, that's that. Gives a minute. Welcome to the world of Panasonic and Micro Four Thirds. Now, while I wait to get this thing working exactly how I need it, before I'm comfortable vlogging with it, I'm going to stay using the iPhone 7 Plus just for a little while. And this is a great segue to throw back to something that happened earlier this week. I was coming back from shooting a gig in Newtown, and on the train, there was just this really drunk... I mean, she said she was from London, from England, but she was so drunk. It was very funny. To be honest, I thought what was going to happen was she was going to be obnoxious and rude and probably cause a scene, so I started filming it. But it turns out she was just off her head drunk and harmless, but very funny.
Anyone else for Hurstville? Here we go. Anyone fucking Hurstville? Oh no! We're not Hurstville, fucking Hurstville, whatever you fucking say.
Don't be a doctor.
Well, I don't give a shit where we are because we're not a Hurstville. Here we go, anyone at Hurstville? Anyone for Hurstville? Oh no, we're at Moortown. Where the fuck is Moortown? Oh, I don't know, it's not fucking London, is it? I actually don't know where Moortown is. Where are we? Are we in Moortown? What the fuck is Moortown? Where are we? Moortown! Here we go, mate! Woo! Oh my goodness, I think I'm on the wrong line. Shepherd's Bush. There you go. Anyone from London? I think I'm on the wrong fucking line. Hello, you are Crowley. Hello, hello, hello. Betty Davis would say, Oscar, give me a drink. You are the entertainment of my life tonight. Do the entertainment on the Oscar thing and then you can just drink the entertainment on the gin. You haven't got any alcohol, by the way? Hello, do I know any of you? No, where are we travelling tonight?
I'm really scared because I'm getting off at Janali and I've heard her mention Janali and this is scaring me.
Janali?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Janali.
London. Janali!
I think you might have had just a little bit too much to drink this evening. Last time I took a train from Bulli back to Janali, I met up with Coast and Ocean. This time we have entertainment all the way from London.
Where are you actually headed?
Bondi.
She really fucked that up.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. I've lost my train. Where are we now?
Are you supposed to be going to Bondi? Because if you are, you're on the wrong train.
Be safe, woman.
Thank you.
Watch
Bye. Bye.
It's always a fun time on these trains. Mind you, she was harmless. Just a little bit too drunk. After I came down here with the kids the other day for the daily vlog, I wanted to come back down and just have a good look myself. If you didn't watch my daily vlog, you wouldn't know where here is. This is directly underneath the Warrenora Road Bridge. I want to see, let's turn this guy off, take this guy off. I want to see if I can get down, and I mean there's a road so I know I can, but I want to see if I can get down to Bonnet Bay. I've been down to Bonnet Bay on the I've been to Bonnet Bay on the vlog before and I went to this point here, this beach, that little sandy patch there, I was down there, but I want to kind of go down to this area and I want to see if I can go up that way and go back across the mountain back to Janali. That's the plan. I don't know for a fact, but I'm hoping I can get through here somehow. Okay. That stops right there. And that's the top of the road. I think I need to find some track through the bush over there because otherwise I've got to go all the way down underneath the bridge. There's got to be a pathway through there that gets me down to the bottom of Bonnet Bay. I'm right on a hairpin corner here. Go for it. Got to be a track down here. Nah. What's up here? Oh yeah, there's definitely a path here. Yeah, we're good. This has to go down, surely. Yeah, totally. Look at this. Wow, this is actually signposted. Well, this looks like it. The back of Bonnet Bay, underneath the Warrenora Road Bridge. To answer the question, can you get down through the track? Yes, you can. And that's where I just was. Now, let's find a nice spot out of the wind and crack open a beer. Well, this has my name on it for certain. Now, come here. This is a great place to crack open the first of the beers that Dronus 4x4 sent me. Now, if you don't know what that means, one of the givers on my channel, a guy by the name of Dronus 4x4, lovely chap from Adelaide, did me a wonderful thing and sent me a bunch of beers. One of the beers he sent me was the beer that I found, where was I? Oatley, I was in Oatley Park, and I found an empty one of these, and I commented that I'd never seen this beer, even though I've been in Germany plenty of times, I'd never actually seen this. So what did he do? He sent me a delivery which included 6 of these and 6 long necks of Coopers. And he said, these are for you to help you keep vlogging throughout the winter. So I'm gonna crack an Oettinger. Apparently, thanks Felicia, apparently this beer isn't that great, but in the spirit of experimenting, trying, enjoying and tasting, see, here's a point. This beer is what a German person, Felicia, would make a comment that this is rubbish beer. I would comment that this beer is actually nicer than the Hawks Lager, which is a specialty beer. This has got more flavour to it than that boutique beer. Thanks again, Dronus 4x4, you little champion. Give my love to Adelaide. I really miss that place. Speaking of Adelaide, NSD. I'm going to make a new NSD rule here. If the band, if I'm wearing the shirt of the band that I've done NSD before, I have to come up with a different NSD which isn't a shirt. Does that make any sense? Okay, I should be clearer. If I've already done NSD for that particular band and I'm wearing that shirt again, I will let you know that the NSD has already been done and you can look at it here. In this case, the Mark of Cain, I did this literally in the last episode, and so that NSD is here. But what I'll do in replacement, how about I show you photos from a band that I don't have a shirt for, but I have done photography with. And also, this rule does not apply for Tracer, because Tracer are an ongoing, I was going to say pursuit. I didn't want to, that's not the right word. Tracer are a bunch of mates of mine who are going to keep making music is what I'm trying to stumble out. Tracer I'm always going to have new content for, so that rule doesn't apply to those guys. But okay, so the Mark of Cain translates into another band, also from Adelaide. It's in this different style of music entirely. It's hip hop. And before I met these boys, I had no exposure to hip hop at all, aside from as a kid listening to Beastie Boys and Run DMC and Public Enemy. And the band isn't Adelaide boys, they're called the Hilltop Hoods, and I did promo work with these guys for quite a while actually, but I'll take it back to the first time that I met them. It was 2009. I got a random email from Triple J magazine. The editor there at the time was a woman named Jenny Valentish. I could never work out how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, Jenny, if you're watching. So the brief for this shoot was Hilltop Hoods breaking all conceived notions of the Aussie hip-hop industry. And they just released their album State of the Art, and things were really powering along, and they still are many years later. And so the idea was to meet the band at Suffer's place in the hills, go into his home studio where they made the album, do a photo shoot using that as inspiration. Now that's all well and true and good, and we did that, and I'll show you the photos of that. But what happened was I submitted those photos to the magazine, and it kind of didn't really cover the brief. It didn't really hit it that well. So I put forward the idea of we reshoot and we actually snap some vinyl. So I went out to a cash converters and picked up a whole bunch of like super cheap vinyl and had the guys come down to the studio in Glenelg when I was living on Jetty Road with Benny Nash. Some really cool shots came from that. The cover came from that shoot. I'll put that in here. I'll show you the cover, and I'll also show you the photo before the graphic designer had his way with it. After that shoot, everyone was happy with what we had achieved, and the idea was to then get some more candid sort of social photos that could go alongside the story. So we went down to Debris' place. There was a barbecue happening with the band plus a whole bunch of their friends and other bands, label mates. The Funkors were there. It's also where I met the Funkors. That's another story. That's another whole bunch of stories in there actually. Guest musicians, Furrow Monch, that did a guest on the record, was there. And we just did some candid, like having a barbecue style photos, and some of those went in the magazine as well. And I feel like I'm blabbering, and I've only had 2 sips of this beer. That's NSD, slightly different. I don't actually own a Hilltop Hoods t-shirt, otherwise I would have done it like a legit NSD. So if you want to hear more about the Hilltop Hoods, if hip-hop's your thing, if hip-hop's not your thing and you don't really care, that's cool too. It's not for everybody. Like I said, when I started this piece to camera, I had no exposure to hip-hop until I met these boys, and that branched off into the Funkors and K21 and Prime. I did some work with all these boys, and I've totally grown a liking for Aussie hip-hop, more so than any other hip-hop that I've ever listened to. Whether you listen to hip-hop or not, it's definitely an achievement that this country should be damn well proud of. Well, that sun is just about dipping over the hilltop there. Did you see what I just did then? That's the hill, that's the top of the hill, and the sun's hitting it. What I'm getting at here is that I think it's about time that we try to go, you probably can't see so well from here, but I want to go up onto the top of that hill, because behind that hill is Janali, and that's how I'm going to get back home. I don't know for a fact, but I reckon there's some kind of pathway through this. Just got to find the access point and then sort of go up. Is here good? Or is here easier? That's kind of a path. That's me. All right, let's do this. And it's right about now where I'm thinking, why the hell am I carrying an electric skateboard through the bush yet again? That's a cave. Well, that looks like the edge. I'm going to say the end and the edge at the same time. What I meant was that's the end of the rock faces. Lost the path entirely. If you watch my daily vlog, you would have seen this already. I'm just extremely hot and sweaty And this is not an easy walk, mainly because of this thing. But we're not far from a big rock. There's rocks up there. That's where I'm gonna head. Stay there. I'm gonna go through this way and I'll come back around and pick you up. Wow. The good news is it's kind of flat from here on. So get the skateboard, have a beer. Now that's not the normal way that you would leave Bonnet River if you're at Bonnet Bay. If you're an idiot like I am and you want to explore, that's definitely the way you do it. Now I mentioned before that Dronus 4x4 also sent me some Coopers in his mail package from Adelaide. He sent me 6 long necks of Coopers, 2 original pale ales, 2 sparkling ales and 2 stouts. I thank you again, Dronus 4x4. You are an absolute legend. I really feel like having a beer right now, and stroke of luck, I've got an ice cold one here that I've been carrying all that trip. And this is, by the way, this is gonna have a double life because I'm gonna use this bottle for homebrew after the fact. So thank you, and thank you, times 2. Let's open it and enjoy. Just spoke to some locals that were doing a fitness walk along this very path. Apparently it's called Eagle Cliff or Eagle Edge or Eagle Ledge, Eagle Rock. They told me that yes, this does lead straight up to Tudor Road. But they did tell me that their house is right through this bush here. They have a sauna and a spa, and they said, you look hot and sweaty after climbing up that extremely dangerous walk. They offered that I go up and have a spa and a sauna at their house. So let's go and do that. Oh, that's we're out of time! So that's the end of that vlog. Thank you very much for watching. Now YouTube's giving me 20 seconds to tell you to subscribe, or watch the previous vlog, or watch a random vlog, or order my Lightroom presets. Subscribe, or watch the previous vlog, or watch a random vlog, or order my Lightroom presets. You could always subscribe, or you could watch the previous vlog, watch a random vlog, or you could order my Lightroom presets. Perhaps you'd like to subscribe.